most of what they show when you do a Google search is basically, I can't really say how old these things are, right? Like on this image, who's to say that this isn't from, let's say, World War One, World War Two, right? It's, you know, you look at the substance of this and it just looks like mud, hardened silt to me, which is what most of this stuff is. Yes, there's obviously ancient sites where you do get cart ruts. They call them cart ruts because you seem to get footprints or hoof prints from a horse, right, in the middle of these lines. And then there's a good portion which, in my opinion, and I will show you in this video, which are just imprints from construction pieces which have rusted away or eroded away. It could have been plastic, metal, wood, right? I will show you the imprints of that and how they're snapped into position in this video. In a couple of minutes I'm going to show you endless images, ancient images from around the world, which are imprints of rail systems, some type of tracking which has been solidified. It's just imprints in ash or something like that, which is what this is. It's actually the top of a building and you're looking at the boarding or roofing. You can see where it's snapped into position, and it's just been covered in ash and solidified. Right now, this one here that's half in the ocean has obviously been covered over every day with salt water, right? So I can't quite tell if this is the foundations of a building or a ancient ship, or it's just an imprint of where the thing sat. I can't quite tell. Now this one here is obviously in what archaeologists would call a cave. I can't tell you what they would say about this, but it's, well, they would say that it's rock cut, right? But anybody with half a brain can see that this is what you call calcification, like at Mother Shipton's cave. I don't know what the circle thing was. using a pencil, but this gate thing, go on about times and lunar dates and this and that, and I suppose this is obviously bullshit as well. You know, if everything else in mainstream archaeology and the megalithic community is crap, then this is obviously rubbish as well. It's mainly, I'm more interested in how things are built, aren't I? And you know, I told you I've actually got the image on after this, and how this was actually a piece of wood, a thick, thin veneer, like plyboard wood, that had been placed over this, what appears to be built in sections, concrete, and then a wooden veneer, you know, obviously like we would today, and you would stick it on the surface and be able to shape it, and you can see how it's rotted away there before it all got buried in the silt and sand in the flood, and basically leached everything like I've told you, and turned into stone, exactly the same material as the surrounding block. But when you look closely at this stuff, you can see that it is actually a surface that's been building up and building up over time, and basically it's all just turned into metamorphic rock which is wood and mud rock. This was the image when I showed you without any doubt that this is the same thing I've just showed you. It's just from a different camera in different lighting, and that's another thing that you need to do. You know, you must look at the same images in different spectrums of light, yeah, different cameras, to get a good measure on what you're looking at. And you can see that again, it was wood, but it's been buried in mud, and as it's rotted away, it's soaked up all the silt and lime and turned into what you see now. These holes were nail holes, as these things, this plyboard veneer, had to be replaced over and over again. The nail holes, I know that's a bit blurred, I've made it as big as I possibly could. That's the same area. It looks more like wood when you will go look at that one. This is an artifact at Pumapunku, and it's like the dolmen sites I've shown you. You know, in the corners, in the corners you can see where silt mud has been building up and turned into rock, which is basically the same type of rock as what all this has since turned into, as everything rotted away as it was buried. You get me? And you see, look, these are the sort of things that I look for. As this corner piece cracked away, there is no reason for this to keep its shape, right? Unless it was built and layered in sections. What I'm getting at, if this was one huge piece like they want to tell you, as this corner broke away, it would not break away, leaving and showing the sections how this thing was put together, like I showed you in the last two videos. That area there is very, very important, and the reason why I put it in this section of video of images for you. This thing here, you know, you can see the colour of it. It's almost turned into concrete, cement. How they managed to do these, because there is no saw marks, you know, on these, and there's no CNC marks even. But when you look at this area, can you see these squares? It's almost like someone's had a, you know, like a 4x4 block, you know, like a block of wood, and just been printing it. It might have been hollow, yeah, hollow square piece, like a hollow oblong piece of wood, and been printing sections out, you know, shove it into there, and it's left square markings, because there's no other reason why these square markings that are exact same size as these sections should be there for any other reason from what I've just told you. Okay, this is andesite, because I try and tell you that it's andesite, and I've told you that it's not. This is real andesite, but this is being done in modern times. You can actually see the striations from these circular saw cutting device that's cut these away, and even the people that's got a lathe cutting machine haven't even been able to cut this stuff precisely. It's actually wonky, but that's what andesite looks like. Okay, whatever andesite was before it turned into this material, right? This type of andesite. If you go research andesite, there's many types. They try and tell you that the site at Pumapunku, Tiwanaku, that this area is actually the quarry, you know, because their paradigm is that everything is rock cut, isn't it? Everything is either a tomb or rock cut, and this stuff here is very, very strange material. It's very, very strange. That's what it looks like, and it does actually look like andesite. Yeah, but again, it is just an imprint. This entire area is what's left of an imprint of some huge structure, and this is the same area. And what caught my eye is, you see this little lip here, you know, because the megalithic community try and tell you that this is from, it's high technology, lost high technology, and it's a circular saw machine that's been carving huge sections of this away, but it's impossible because these lines don't run into this section here. Okay, yeah, they go right up to this thing, but when you look at that, it's actually a lip. Yeah, you know, it's cracked and there's a lip of this sticking out, almost like these were tiles, yeah, or some type of path, and that these striations will run through this, the rest of this mountain, yeah, or it was rebar, right? You get me? This is actually a piece of the so-called andesite from Pumapunku, Tiwanaku, and you've got what they're saying is an ancient cut, which is leaving that. This is a modern day diamond cut corner, and they've used a laser and left this, yeah? Because I'm saying that it's all just an imprint, yeah? It's build up from whatever it was, like huge blocks of steel, interlocking pieces of metal that have completely rusted away, and it's just filled the voids up, and you know, with whatever this stuff is, right? Because there is no cutting, you know, marks on it, or laser marks. And the reason why I say that, as you know, this is my thumbnail, and this material is made out of something called Luddite, right? That's what this material is, and just like the artifact I've just shown you, if you were to break this in half, it looks exactly the same as aluminium. If you've ever seen aluminium cut or snapped in half, it leaves little leaves, right? And that's what this is, and that's why you can't cut this stuff, not even with the finest CNC machines, you know, which operate by air or fine sand particles. We couldn't even, you know, cut this stuff and smooth it off. That's why, another reason why I think that this stuff has since turned into this from aeons of time, or changes in our reality. I don't know what it is, but there's no other. That's my explanation. I think this used to be something like some type of alloy, right? Which is what I think many of the pieces at Tiwanaku, Pumapunku, were, just like this thing in one of the Egyptian museums, right? This thing was once metal, people, or some type of plastic material, I don't know, but can you see how this is bent here, right? The stuff, this is, I mean, just look at this stuff, it looks like cement. Very, very fine cement. This is not andesite, is it? And why is this? Because this was linked to this. Why is that turning almost into sandstone and this into this? And what's these shapes here? Was this some type of metal? You know, and they would stick these pieces together.